What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. Hope you are having a great one as always, and happy holidays. It was a very early Merry Christmas for me. We got hit with a blizzard today, and UPS managed to deliver this beautiful gem to me finally. I am a huge Naruto fanboy. Gaara is easily one of my favorite characters on the show. I absolutely love the character, from early Naruto all the way up through his days in Boruto, which, yes, I still actually watch Boruto. Just a huge fan of him. I really, really like him. The Zen Creations Naruto figure was outstanding. When I saw they were doing Gaara, I flipped out. And I've been waiting a long time for this fella to get here, but he finally did. We've got him in all of his glory, and I really cannot wait to crack into this fella. The box on this is beautiful. Really, really, really impressed with that. Just absolutely outstanding work there. I have considered getting the Sasuke that they're making. I don't know if I will. It's a terrible reflection, but we'll pull them out of carbonite in just a moment. And we'll do that right now. Honestly, the quality of their stuff is amazing to me. I really, really like their Naruto figure. I really like the 301s as well. If this is half as good as I'm expecting it to be, I'll probably get their Sasuke. And I don't like Sasuke, so that says a lot. But holy cow, this thing is just so cool. Alright. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm going to geek out a lot over this figure, I think, so fair warning in advance. There might even be nerd tears. You know, we might get a couple of those. Maybe. We'll see. We're going to get this box out of here. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. Alright, here we go. What do we got down here? What is this? What are we doing? Got some instruction things. I don't care about that. This is probably going to be taped on. You're taped on, aren't you? I have a feeling this is taped on. What is this? Your tape. I understand. The world needs adhesive. But I really don't like tape. It is as close to an arch enemy as I have at this point in my life. And we'll just leave it at that. Oof. I'm feeling all sorts of feels. Alright. I don't even know where to start. I'm so genuinely excited to see every little thing on this guy. Of course, they taped the stuff on his ankles, because why make that easy? I'm sure everything is going to be taped up a whole bunch more than it needs to be, because why not? But holy cow. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut some arm tape, I think. Maybe I can get lucky. I'm going to see if I can get lucky. I don't think I'll be able to, but we're going to try. Maybe. Nope. Alright. No luck there. We're going the cut route. I always hate doing this. I feel like one day I'm going to just actually cut into the figure and not the tape. Or into my leg. Also wouldn't be particularly good. Although, in fairness, the leg will heal. So, at least I'd have that, right? Worst part is I'll probably finally get it and then have to undo more tape somewhere later on. But we're getting there. All right. Progress. Think. Oh, you can uncork his gourd. That's adorable. All right. We've made it. So far. Ta-da! There you go. Right off the bat, the head sculpt's pretty good. Uh, it's kind of awful in the lighting, just because you lose a little bit of the shape of his nose there, but overall, pretty good job. I feel like his eyes need to be a little closer. I'm just being super picky there. This gourd is amazing. The paint they did on this does feel like a separate wrap, I'm guessing. It's definitely separate plastic that they wrapped around it, but it is one piece. You're not going to be able to undo that. I'm not sure if there's a way to actually easily get the gourd off his body, not that you would want to. And these straps here are a bit loose, which is okay. As for the actual outfit, it's the same material that Naruto is, so it's definitely going to allow him to move pretty dang freely. Really don't get any sort of restriction there, which is good because, quite frankly, I'm going to want to pose him doing a whole bunch of fun stuff. And this should be, oh yeah, this is wired. So you got that going for you as well. Nice little straps on his leg. That's pretty dang cool. And does have the double joint in the knee. So you get tons of mobility there. Of course, nice little ninja footwear as well. Really, really cool. And again, this is the Shippuden era of Gaara, so he's not wearing his old school black fishnet garb, but that's quite okay. Overall, definitely digging it. Now, one thing I will tell you is the gourd is super heavy, so if you do have him standing, you're going to need to use the base that they include, because there's no way that he's going to be able to support that on his own. Speaking of the base, let's take a look at some of the other good stuff. Hard thing with him is figuring out a good way to lay him down. That'll work for now, I think. Get another really cool head that's got the different cracks on it. In the show, he has a sand armor that kind of coats his entire body. And if you damage him enough, it'll start to crack and reveal. I actually like this sculpt a little bit better than the other one. They did a really good job with that. Even just the painting on the hair. Outstanding. Love it. Get this beautiful Shukaku hand. So he is one of the... If you're not familiar with the show, you should be. Go watch it. Stop watching whatever this is and go watch it. Gaara is one of the many Jinchurikis in the show, which essentially is a person that's possessed by a demon. His particular demon is named Shukaku, which is a giant tanuki, which, for my fellow Americans, tanuki is pretty much a cooler version of the raccoon. Maybe not cooler, but it's just kind of similar to a raccoon. This is awesome. This thing is just so dang cool. And they do have a neat little plug here so that you can pull this out to pose it. So that way you can stick that into the base if you wanted to, or if you wanted, in theory, you should be able to pop off one of his hands and stick his arm in there. He does get possessed a bit. It's not designed to clip onto his wrist. There's no actual wrist peg in there that I can see, but you would pretty easily be able to just put that on over it, especially if it was, down on the ground like he was freaking out and getting possessed, which, spoiler alert, happens on occasion. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure what this is for. So that's interesting. It definitely looks broken, but I have no idea what it's actually for. So I'm kind of confused by that. I'll take a look at the instructions in a bit, but it really just looks like a broken peg. I'm genuinely stumped. I suppose it maybe was supposed to be a full piece? I don't know. That's weird. We'll take a look at the instructions in a bit and see if we can figure that out. You do, of course, as you can see, get a whole bunch of different hands. I'm not going to pull them out, but he's got his little... okay, I lied. I'm going to pull them out. We'll take a look at this one at least. When he gets possessed and gets all angry, he does this kind of sort of thing, and there you go. So you get those little cool, crazy creep-out hands, which is nice. Also, if he does the Sabaku Kyu, his little sand coffin, that's usually, it'd be like, you do one of those things and then crush him. Which again, if you don't know, his gourd is full of sand mixed with the blood of his enemies, because that's awesome. And that he uses that sand to, like, possess, crush, cripple people, all sorts of neat stuff. He's a cool dude. I'll just leave it at that. Try and get this bottom tray off. Of course it is taped into place. Almost to there. Alright, here we go. And really all that you get in the bottom part is the actual display stand itself. As I often say, I'm stupid. And you may have just noticed that I attempted to remove this base here, but there is a lid on it. I'm stupid. Apparently I still can't even remove it once I take that off. There we go. I really did like the base they gave with Naruto just because it had kind of that really simplistic anime style paint to it where it looked pretty much right out of the show. And they definitely nailed that with this. It's got the Sand Village vibes, which I am really digging. So good job there. And then you get a fun little wisp of sand. Which I was kind of hoping would be a little bit more pliable. You can definitely bend it a bit, but this would go more or less right into the gourd, and then just be kind of twirling around his body or whatever you want to do with it. So that's pretty dang neat that they added that. Get a fun little sand effect. Now, you do get a dynamic stand with him, which is pretty important. That's going to let you do some cool twirling stuff with the Shikaku hand if you wanted him summoning that, and also just give you enough actual support to hold this guy up. Now, I am surprised he doesn't have... I vaguely remember him still having the actual sand shinobi badge on him, but he might be Kazekage at this point, and if he is, then he would not necessarily have it, because he'd have his cool little hat. But you would think if he was at that point, they would have let him come with his cool little hat. So, who knows? Either way, this figure is awesome, and if you're a Gaara fanboy like me, I highly recommend it. There are a lot of cool statues that you can get in similar price points. If I were filthy rich, I would probably get one of the crazy statues instead. But as a 6th scale and toy collector, this is hands down the best Gaara figure I've ever seen in my life, and I am very, very happy to add it to my collection. Plus, he's going to go great with Naruto and everybody else, especially once we get some Itachi and Madara action down the road, so that'll certainly be a fun one. I will try real quickly to go grab Naruto just so you can see him side by side with him, and maybe even Sakura, get an idea how they look all next to each other. Well, it turns out I was wrong. He does actually stand up okay without the base at all. I just real quickly kind of put him next to Naruto so you could get kind of a side by side with the two of them. There you go.